What's up, stupid heads? Today we're about to react to totally incorrect facts that everyone still believes. This is apparently going to be a compilation of facts that are wrong, but people still believe this stuff. I see a carrot in the thumbnail. Is he going to say that carrots aren't good for your eyes? I think I believe that. Okay, let's just see what happens.
Breakfast
let's
is
see
the
if
most
we're
important
stupid.
meal of the day. You've heard it your whole life. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I don't even believe that, bro. Okay, I'm pausing the video 5 seconds in. People are gonna be mad. I don't give a damn. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, bro. You can literally go without breakfast, bro. People who eat a bunch of sugar in the morning, they're just gonna be fat. Okay.
Sounds like a golden rule of health, right? Nope. That line didn't come from some groundbreaking medical discovery. It came from marketing. Back in the late 1800s.
Who the hell is this guy? KFC? Colonel Sanders, bro? Don't tell me that KFC started breakfast.
It's a guy named John Harvey Kellogg,
Kellogg's cereal! Oh my God, of course he was the one who started it.
the cornflakes guy, started pushing breakfast hard. Then in the 1900s, food companies ran with it because they were selling cereal by calling it essential. It worked so well that now people think skipping breakfast is practically a crime. But here's the truth. Science doesn't back this up. Eating breakfast isn't a magical key to weight loss, better focus, or a longer life. Studies show what really matters is your overall diet and lifestyle, not whether you ate eggs at 8 a.m. Some people genuinely feel great eating first thing in the morning.
Who the hell believes this? I know this video is supposed to be facts that everyone believes. Who genuinely believes that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, bro? Okay, skip this. Nobody believes that. Let's go to the next one.
Just skip it. Camels store water in their humps.
Wait, what? Bro, they taught me that in school, that camels had water in that big old bump in their back. What is it then? A tumor? Is that where their babies are? That would be sick to have babies in your back. All right, let's just
camels as walking canteens, storing gallons of water in those big humps on their backs.
That's what I thought.
Sounds logical, right? A desert animal, a giant hump, must be a water tank. But here's the reality. Those humps are made of fat, not water. Camels store up to 80 pounds of fat in there, and that's their energy reserve. It's like their portable snack bar. When food is scarce, they burn that fat to survive. So if the hump is fat and not water, where does the water thing come from? Camels are just insanely good at managing hydration. They can drink an unbelievable amount when they find water, up to 40 gallons in one go, and then go for weeks without another sip. Their bodies are masters of conservation. Their red blood cells are oval-shaped, so blood keeps flowing even when water is low.
How does that even make sense, bro? How do people know that their blood cells are... That is too much science for me, bro.
Their body temperature fluctuate, so they don't sweat as much.
If y'all knew that camels didn't have water in their back, let me know. I think everybody believed that,
for desert
dude.
survival. But water in the hump? That's pure Hollywood fantasy. Humans only have 5 senses. You've probably heard this since kindergarten. Humans have 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Sounds normal, right? But it's way off. The idea of 5 senses goes all the way back to Aristotle, and we've just been repeating it ever since. In reality, scientists have identified at least 9 senses, and some say over 20.
20 senses? Okay.
On top of the big 5, you've got balance, called the vestibular sense, which keeps you from falling over every time you stand up. Then there's proprioception, your body's awareness
Okay, what the hell is proprioception, bro? Y'all just making stuff up.
of where your limbs are without looking. Ever touch your nose with your eyes closed? That's proprioception. You also have thermoception, sensing heat and cold, nociception for pain, and even interoception, which tells you things like when you're hungry or need to breathe. If we only had 5 senses, walking in a straight line or even staying alive would be a nightmare. So
this is the worst animation ever. I mean, it's better than my videos, but bro, this is straight AI. Like, why is this character fully like designed and then this one has a stick arm? That is a crime, bro. Also, why is this girl's ears poking through her hair? Okay, let's just keep learning because I'm actually learning right now.
Humans have 5
This is
senses.
crazy, bro.
Tell them
Tune in to DJ Loves Reacting
and that's
for
generous. You should pee on jellyfish stings. Maybe you've done it, or maybe you've seen it in movies. Someone gets stung by a jellyfish and their friend steps up with the ultimate survival move: pee on the sting.
Who the hell thinks that this is true? Who the hell believes you should pee on a sting, on a jellyfish sting? Where did they even start, bro? Some creepy guy,
Hollywood makes it look like a cure, but in reality, it can make things worse. Here's why. Jellyfish stings come from tiny venom-filled cells called nematocysts. When they fire, they inject venom into your skin, and some of these stingers can stick around, loaded and ready to go. The last thing you want is to trigger them again. And guess what urine can do? Depending on its salt concentration and temperature, it can actually cause those cells to release more venom. So congratulations, you've just been peed on and it now hurts more. The real fix? Rinse with seawater, not fresh water, because that also makes the stingers fire.
Okay.
And then soak the area in hot water. Heat helps break down the toxins and calm the pain. Or if you've got it, vinegar works for certain species. So
bro,
next,
this
stick
is
down the
actually
toxins and
AI.
calm
I
the
just
pain.
proved it. Look.
Or if you've got
She's got a vinegar. This says vinegar. And then she flips it over. And then it says chug jug. What the fuck?
So next time you're at the beach and someone gets stung,
You know,
skip
I don't
the hero
care.
pee moment.
I'm still
or
learning.
Once you've stepped up and done it, you can tell them it was actually pointless. Chameleons don't try to camouflage. Everyone
Really?
thinks chameleons can just go invisible when they feel like it, blending into any background like some reptile magician. Green jungle, they turn green. Sandy desert, they go tan.
That's what
Sounds
someone
cool,
told.
but
That's
it's
what I
mostly a
heard
myth.
in school, bro.
Chameleons don't change color to vanish into the scenery. They do it to communicate and regulate temperature.
Huh? So every time I saw a chameleon in real life and he was changing color, he was trying to talk to me. And I wasn't even listening. I was just like, damn, he's changing.
Those dramatic
Wow.
color shifts are basically just visual moods. Feeling aggressive? Bright colors. Relaxed? Duller shades. Hot and need to cool down?
Really?
They lighten up to reflect heat. Cold?
The
They go
hell?
darker to soak up warmth. How do they pull it off? Their skin is packed with special cells called chromatophores and nanocrystals that reflect light differently depending on how they expand or
How do we even figure this stuff out? Like who had to kill a chameleon to look at his chromatophores and nanocrystal? Bro, y'all
contract.
got too much time
This
on your
creates
hands.
everything from subtle shade shifts to full-on rainbow displays.
Rainbow, LGBTQ.
Blending in like a perfect camouflage ninja? That's Hollywood magic. Sure, they might match some natural colors by coincidence, but they're not out here repainting themselves in order to blend in and become invisible. Carrots give you night vision. You've heard this one.
Okay, who the hell believes that? I heard that carrots give you better, like you can see better if you eat carrots. It's good for your eyes. I don't know if I believe that, but who the hell believes that carrots give you night vision, bruh? Come on, bro. You're gonna have a bunch of little kids just
Forever. Eat your carrots and you'll be able to see in the dark. Sounds awesome, right? Sadly, it's pure myth with a little history twist. Carrots do have beta-carotene, which your body turns into vitamin A, and vitamin A is crucial for healthy eyes. But does it give you night vision powers? Not even close. If
Who
you're severely
believes that?
deficient in vitamin A, carrots will help restore normal vision, but they won't turn you into a nocturnal predator. So where did this myth come from? Blame World War II propaganda. The British Royal Air Force had radar tech that let them spot enemy planes at night, but they didn't want Germany to know. So they claimed their pilots had super night vision because they ate tons of carrots. The story spread like wildfire, and people still believe it today. Carrots are great for you, but if you're hoping to ditch your headlights after a few carrots, forget it. The only thing carrots give you at night is orange teeth. Blood is blue
What the
inside
fu-
your veins.
Okay.
You probably heard someone say, your blood is blue until it hits the air. Makes sense if you've ever looked at your veins. They look blue, right? But here's the truth. Human blood is never blue. Not in your veins, not in your heart, not anywhere. It's always red, just different shades depending on oxygen levels. Bright red when it's
Okay.
loaded with oxygen, darker red when it's carrying less. So why do your veins look blue? That's an optical illusion caused by how light penetrates your skin and bounces back. Blue light has a shorter wavelength, so it scatters more easily than red light, making veins appear bluish under the skin.
Who the hell even thinks that veins are blue? What are we talking?
The blue blood idea got so popular that some people even think your blood turns red only when it touches oxygen. Nope, cut yourself and you don't see a color change because it was already red. This rumor may also be due to some animals like horseshoe crabs that
What
actually
the-
do have blue blood. But humans, we're stuck
Who the hell knows what a horseshoe crab is, dude?
with red.
This
Blue
is
blood
the
royalty?
dumbest video
That's just a
I've
metaphor.
ever seen.
Never wake a sleepwalker. If you've ever seen someone sleepwalk, you've probably heard, don't wake them, it's dangerous.
I heard
The
that.
story goes that if you wake them, they'll have a heart attack, go into shock, or lose their mind forever.
Nope.
Sounds terrifying, but it's pure myth. Waking up a sleepwalker won't kill them. It might confuse or startle them, but that's about it. Sleepwalking happens during deep sleep, so when you wake them, their brain is basically rebooting. They'll probably be groggy and have no idea what's going on, but they'll survive just fine. So where did this idea come from? Mostly old superstitions and fear of messing with sleep, because sleep has always seemed mysterious and sacred. The real danger isn't waking them, it's letting them roam. Sleepwalkers can do some pretty risky things. Wander
Facts.
outside, climb stairs, even drive cars in rare cases.
Bro, hell no, bro. You're telling me somebody went outside, got in their car. Come on, bro. No way.
That's where people get hurt. So, the best move? Gently guide them back to bed if you can. If that's not possible, just wake them.
Bro, punch him in his jaw.
Lightning never strikes the same place twice. You've probably heard this one as a metaphor for rare events. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Sounds dramatic, like nature's got a rule book. But here's the truth. Lightning doesn't care about sayings. It absolutely strikes the same place over and over. In fact, tall structures like skyscrapers, radio towers, and even trees are magnets for lightning. The Empire State Building gets hit about 20 to 25 times every single year. Why? Because lightning takes the path of least resistance, and a big metal tower sticking into the sky is basically an invitation. So the next time someone drops that phrase, remember, lightning's not picky.
Yeah, if your grandma tells you that, say shut up.
Standing in the wrong spot during a storm, it might strike you twice just to prove a point. Sharks can smell a drop of blood from miles away. You've seen this scene in every shark movie. One tiny drop of blood hits the water, and miles away, a great white goes into a frenzy, zeroing in like it has some sort of GPS. Sounds terrifying, right? But in reality, that's Hollywood drama, not science. Sharks do have an amazing sense of smell, one of the best in the animal kingdom. But the whole miles away idea is...
How do they even smell something underwater? Because when I go underwater, I can't even smell anything. Dude, what if it smelled like poop underwater? I bet it does in the ocean. Because all these fish, they don't have a bathroom.
Massively overblown. In truth, they can detect blood at concentrations of about 1 part per million. That's insanely good, but it translates to something like a drop of blood in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, not the entire ocean. And even then, currents, tides, and water movement scatter scent quickly. So no, if you cut your finger in Hawaii, a shark in California isn't coming for you. They're impressive predators, but they're not horror movie level. Still, probably don't test this by bleeding in the water, because if a shark's nearby, it's definitely going to notice. Humans swallow 8 spiders a year while sleeping.
See, I never believed that, bro. There was always this thing that they said, you know, stop being afraid of spiders, because when you're sleeping and you're going, spiders crawl in your mouth and crawl down your throat 8 times a year. No, they don't. Spider does not want to crawl down your throat, bro.
Probably heard this creepy fact. Every year, while you sleep, 8 spiders crawl into your mouth.
No.
Picture that. Mid-dream, and a spider decides to crawl in your open mouth. Or down one of your nostrils. It sneaks past your lips, sets up camp, and disappears forever. Terrifying, right? Good news? It's total nonsense.
I knew that.
Spiders don't want to go anywhere near your mouth. Think about it. Warm, wet, vibrating, and full of teeth. That's basically their worst nightmare. The vibrations of your breathing...
So what do they do? Do they just like sit in your hair and stuff? Or like sit in your ear? Oh.
Even your heartbeat send them running the other way. They hunt where it's quiet and still, not on top of a snoring giant who might squish them at any second. So, where did this nightmare come from? The reason that the average human swallows 8 a year is because one guy is skewing the odds and eating 64 billion to mess with the rest of us. In reality, the odds of swallowing even 1 spider in your life are microscopic, unless you're doing it on purpose. So relax. There's nothing sneaking into your mouth at night unless you're that one guy. Pirates made people walk the plank. Every pirate movie has it. The dramatic moment where the villain waves a sword and snarls, "Walk the plank." The crew gathers, they beat the drums, and the victim does that slow, trembling tiptoe toward the edge. He splashes into the shark-infested waters while everyone cheers. It's iconic, but almost entirely fake. Historical records show little to no evidence of real pirates using this method. Why? Because pirates weren't putting on Broadway shows, they were running a business. Time was money, and forcing someone to balance on a board was just unnecessary. If they wanted you gone, they'd toss you overboard, stab you, or ransom you. Fast, simple, and terrifying in its own way. Walking the plank didn't really pop up until the 19th century in literature and stage plays, and then Hollywood ran wild with it. So the truth? You weren't taking a theatrical stroll to your death, you were getting shoved, or shanked, then shoved. Less cinematic, but the outcome was the same. You lose most body heat through your head. You've probably heard this one from every parent ever. Wear a hat or you'll freeze. Most of your body heat escapes through your head. Sounds legit, right? It even sounds scientific, like your head is some kind of chimney that blasts heat into the cold winter air. But it's a myth born from bad science. The idea came from a 1950s military experiment where soldiers in freezing conditions wore winter gear, except on their heads. Of course, they lost more heat there. That was the only bare skin exposed. The truth is, heat escapes from any uncovered skin, and it's proportional to the surface area. Your head is only about 10% of your body, so unless you're some kind of giant floating head, it's not where you're losing most of your warmth.
Heads. I got a big head.
If you went outside naked wearing just a hat, you'd still freeze in minutes. Of course, a hat still helps in winter, but so do pants, gloves.
Who thinks that they go outside with no clothes on and they just wear a hat that they're gonna be fine?
Socks,
Nobody
and literally
believes that.
anything else covering your skin. If you want to stay warm, dress like a human. Owls are wise. Owls have been the animal symbol for wisdom forever. Ancient Greece made them Athena's mascot, storybooks give them glasses, and cartoons treat them like professors. They're perched on the shoulders of wizards, dishing out advice in magical forests, and for centuries we've treated them like nature's philosophers. But in reality, owls aren't the geniuses of the bird world.
Bro, they literally just sit there and go, who. They can't even say anything other than that.
They're more like the strong, silent type. Yes, they're incredible hunters, but that's instinct, not IQ. They're night assassins, not professors. Compare them to crows or ravens, which can solve puzzles, recognize human faces, and even use tools.
Really?
And owls look kind of clueless. Crows can drop nuts on crosswalks so cars crack them open. Owls? They just sit there looking mysterious. Their huge eyes and fixed stare make them seem deep and thoughtful.
How do you know that they're not super smart?
But that's just biology, not them being all deep.
How
so
do we
next
know?
time you see an owl staring into the distance, it's not thinking about life's big questions. It's thinking mouse or frog. Chickens can live without their heads for a few seconds. Everyone knows the phrase, running around like a headless chicken. But most people think the story ends in seconds. You chop off the head, a little flapping, and then done. But the truth is way stranger. Sometimes that headless chicken doesn't just twitch, it keeps on living. Not for seconds, not even for minutes, but for hours.
I don't believe
it. In one
it.
famous case from 1945, a chicken named Mike lived for
What the Bro, Mike? Who the hell named this?
18 months after losing his head.
No.
How is that even possible?
It's not.
Turns out the brainstem, which controls basic life functions like breathing and heartbeat, can stay intact if the cut is high enough. So Mike's body just kept going. Farmers fed him through an eyedropper straight into his throat, and he became a national celebrity.
Are we being serious? There's actually been a chicken with his head chopped off? What the
Traveling the U.S. as the Headless Wonder Chicken.
You can't even see anything, bruh.
Think about that for a second. You're looking at a chicken with no face, no eyes, no beak, just a...
Dude, I wonder if the eggs that he laid, do those eggs have like more like, or less protein since he doesn't have a head?
Body and a pulse.
Oh my
Was
God.
he aware? Could he feel anything? Or was it pure instinct driving him on? Scientists aren't sure, and honestly, I couldn't tell you either. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me video ideas.
Who the hell is this white bald guy? What the